Hey everybody, so this is a review on my first niche fragrance purchase. This happened back in 2020, right when the pandemic hit, right when we started getting quarantined. This was the first niche purchase that I made. Fairly hefty one too, one of the more expensive fragrances in my collection in terms of how much I paid for it and MSRP. You've probably heard about it in some regard. You've probably seen it at your Nordstroms, your Barneys, your Dillards, Bloomingdale's, places that sell Parfums de Marly fragrances. Probably the most hype fragrance in the house. It has the same acclaim like Aventus, like Baccarat Rouge 540, like Green Irish Tweed. This is one of those popular niche fragrances that just caught a bunch of hype. When I entered the fragrance game back in 2020, when I started collecting, this was one of the fragrances that was hyped to death. Scent profile sounded very appealing to me. And yeah, from Parfums de Marly, this is Layton. Like I mentioned, one of the most hyped niche fragrances ever. You could kind of see right here on the day, it is starting to fade a little bit. It's not as prominent as the Parfums and the Marly and the Body. At the bottom, I don't know if you could read it, but it says 003901. I've always had great performance with this bottle. I have not tested newer formulations or older formulations, so I could only speak on the fragrance that I have with me here. Killer beast mode fragrance, easy 24 plus hours. It's crazy. It got a little fresher, I will say. The geranium, as I have owned this fragrance, has popped out more and more. The apple is also very crisp now. Before, it used to be just vanilla and cardamom and a lot of pepper. It used to be super, super spicy with no freshness to really offset it. But as the bottle has aged, it has gotten fresher. Almost like a Vicks Vapor Rub opening. I don't see it completely, but I understand where people are coming from. So if you don't like minty notes, if you do not like the thought of having Vicks Vapor Rub, definitely sample this before you buy it. I blind bought this for about 150 bucks with a little bit of chunk change. This is a very safe blind buy for those who like very sweet fragrances. If you like fragrances like Hugo Boss bottled, you like La Nuit de l'Homme, that type of sweet and spicy scent profile, you will like this. This does get compared to Boss Bottled by Hugo Boss. That's the first fragrance I've ever smelled in my life. Technically it was a clone of it, but I've smelled both of them and they're pretty much identical. I don't really see the complete one-on-one comparisons. They're both sweet, they're both spicy, they both have a little bit of freshness, but they get there in their own ways. You know, cinnamon, apple, good hit of lavender as well with the original Boss Bottled. This is more apple, cardamom, vanilla, black pepper. This is a lot more spicy, lot better quality, and performs so much better, especially when you talk about newer formulations of Boss Bottled, because I have a newer bottle of Boss Bottled, the original. Yeah, it's a nostalgic scent for me, but it just does not perform. I do not get more than 5 hours on it, and that's okay. You don't need beast mode fragrances all the time. It's just, if you're looking for performance, this is, oh my fucking goodness, Jesus. I dropped it a little bit, but yeah, this is a beast mode performer. Bottle is hefty, ceramic bottle. There's a little trick that you could do where you put your flashlight right up on the bottle. Actually, let me take this off, see if this works. So if I put a light over here, or if I light it in a certain angle, there we go. So you could see how much juice I have. But when I take it away, it's not there. I have at least 75, 70 milliliters left in this bottle. Full presentation. I bought it full presentation. I left the box. I left the little card or that little pamphlet that they give out in the Parfums de Marly boxes. I have that all back in LA. Have not gotten rid of the presentation. This cap is fucking heavy. If you wanted to, you could do damage with this cap. You could be charged with aggravated assault and battery if you actually throw this in someone's face. Don't do it. I haven't showered yet. I'm going to shower in a little bit. I do have some homework to do. I could waste a spray in the air. This is really good atomizer. One of the better atomizers you'll find. Even though it's not pressurized. Oh, it's gonna fill up the room. Oh man, yeah. No, really, really, really fresh, really minty. But it's not a mint note, it's geranium and slight Vicks vapor rub vibe for some people. I just get more minty cleanness, freshness because it's not just geranium. You get a bunch of lavender, you get a bunch of apple. There is a slight hit of that fresh apple right away, but it's not tart. It's not overly sweet. It's more crisp. It smells so good though. It really does. I got a little bit of it leaked a little bit on my finger when I sprayed it. That was a big spray. No, yeah, this is awesome. If you like cardamom, you're gonna like this. This has a bunch of cardamom, a bunch of vanilla, a little bit of sandalwood. This is very creamy, very sweet, very spicy, very loud. A lot of pepper too. That kind of gives you the idea of where this fragrance is going. It's not the most unique fragrance out there, but then again, there's not many fragrances out there aside from clones of this, because I have seen this starting to get cloned like crazy. The same way Aventus is getting cloned. The same way Green Irish Tweed is getting cloned. The same way Baccarat Rouge 540 is getting cloned. This is getting cloned in that same regard too, which kind of shows you how good this thing has sold and how good this thing smells. Perfect for fall, winter, perfect for date night. If you're doing date night, ease up on the sprays because this is a loud motherfucker. Probably no more than 2 because it is, at least on my skin and because of the batch that I own, very strong, very loud. It'll grab attention. I've mentioned this in videos before. This is my most complimented fragrance ever. I want to say, I mean, I don't keep complete count, but somewhere in the realm of like 10 or so compliments with this. I've talked about this before, but I went back to my old high school to help the old basketball team out. Before I left to come back to Syracuse, this was my scent of the day about a couple of days before I left. I got 4 compliments within the range of like 5 to 10 minutes, and I sprayed the fragrance 2 hours before I left. I sprayed the fragrance 2 hours before I got there, and I got 4 compliments. You will grab attention. I've worn this to class, worn this nights out, I've worn this to parties, I've worn this fall time, daytime, nighttime, winter time, spring. I would not wear this in the summer because it is really sweet and really spicy, and the freshness in here does not balance it enough to where it'll be fresh enough to wear because it is so damn strong. Will get cloying in the summertime, especially like in LA, unless you're going into a controlled environment where there's like an AC unit, it's a little cooler night out, then yeah, I would definitely reach for this. Easy recommendation in my opinion. I wouldn't say blind buy it, but I would suggest this is a safe place to start if you want to start getting into the niche realm of fragrances. That's how I started with my niche realm. And don't get me wrong, I haven't tried hundreds and thousands of niche fragrances. I've sampled a lot of them. I own a few myself. I said before, I'm building on my collection slowly but surely. But this is a great one to start with. This could be, if you live in a colder environment, your one fragrance, this could be it. Because it is that versatile. If you do live in a slightly cooler environment, if your summertime isn't really bolstering hot and humid, you could wear this in the summertime. I wore this a few days ago. It's so easy to wear. It is niche, but then again, it has a slightly designer appeal because it is so mass appealing. But it is fairly unique because like a lot of people compare this to Boss Bottled. I do not get that comparison myself. I don't know what the prices are now. You could go for Layton Exclusive. I've sampled it that and I really like that fragrance. I will own it eventually. I just don't think I will own it at the moment because there is a lot of similarity between the two. I would say if you want something darker, edgier, a little louder, you want something with a slight coffee hit, I would go for Parfums de Marly Layton Exclusive. But if you're looking for just mass appeal, versatile, easy to wear, easy to enjoy, something that'll last you the whole day, which to be fair, a lot of Parfums de Marly will last you the entire day, just like a lot of Manceras, like Montals. Some of the MFK fragrances, the majority of those, they last a very long time that I've sampled. If you're looking for that, you can't go wrong with this. You really can't. It's hyped for a reason. It is almost 7 years old at this point, but it still sells like hotcakes because it is that damn good. Hopefully you like the review. If you did like the video, comment down below. If you own Layton, let me know how you think about it. If you like it, you don't like it, you're indifferent about it. Like I mentioned before, sample it, because just because I like it doesn't mean you will. With all fragrances, give them chances. Give them a couple chances, a few chances, because you never know. Your smell, your scent palette will change over time, just like your taste palette changes over time. Like your style of music might change over time. What you wear can change over time. How you present yourself can change over time. So I would say give every fragrance out there a fair shake, no matter what it is. So until then, I'll see you in the next one.